When people speak of financial freedom, they often imagine successful entrepreneurs, wealthy businessmen, or tech geniuses. But my journey began far away from any of that, in a small middle-class Indian household where every rupee mattered, every day was a silent struggle, and every dream felt too expensive to afford. I'm Nidhi, an 18-year-old girl, an ordinary school student, born into a simple family with extraordinary challenges. But this is the story of how I turned those struggles into strength and how a small idea changed the future of my entire family. Growing up, we didn't have much, but we had peace. My father drove a taxi. My mother worked day and night in a local factory. Their hands were tired, but their hearts were full of love. We were not poor, but we were definitely not comfortable. Everything we owned was the result of countless sacrifices. I still remember waking up to the sound of my father leaving the house at dawn. Before I even opened my eyes, the rattle of his old taxi used to remind me how hard he worked. He spent long, exhausting hours driving around the city, often skipping meals to earn a few extra rupees. My mother woke before everyone else, cooked for us, completed the household chores, and then left for her shift at the factory. She returned home tired, often with aching legs, but still smiled as if everything was normal. I always admired them. Their strength, their courage, their determination, they were my biggest heroes. But life changed suddenly, in the most unexpected way. It was 2 years ago, an ordinary day that became unforgettable. I was at school when I received a call from one of my father's friends. His voice trembled. "Beta, your father met with an accident." Those words froze my heart. My hands went cold. Tears blurred my vision. I rushed to the hospital with my mother. I still remember the sight, my father lying on the hospital bed, machines beeping around him, his right leg shattered, injuries all over him. That moment crushed something inside us. The doctors said he would take months, maybe a year, to recover. He could not drive anymore. He could not walk properly. He needed treatment, medicine, physiotherapy, and all of that cost money we didn't have. Suddenly, the financial pillar of our family fell apart. Within just a few weeks, everything changed. My mother's salary vanished into house rent and hospital bills. Whatever little was left was spent on medicine, food, and travel to the hospital. Debt started piling up. Relatives helped in the beginning, but sympathy fades faster than expenses. There were days when we had to choose between buying vegetables or buying medicine. Days when I skipped lunch at school because I didn't want to increase the burden. Nights when my mother cried silently, thinking I didn't hear her, but I did. And every time she wiped her tears, something inside me whispered, "You have to do something." I was just 16 at the time, a school student with no experience, no income, and no idea what I could possibly do. But I knew that doing nothing was not an option. Every day after school, I walked home past a small stall outside the school gate. A man sold bara pav, a simple Indian sandwich that was everyone's favorite. I saw students lining up every afternoon, their laughter mixing with the sizzling sound of the tawa. He earned well. One day, I stood there longer than usual, watching him work. That day, an idea was born inside me, small, simple, and crazy. I can do this too. That night at dinner, I told my parents, "I want to start a small bara pav stall." My mother almost dropped her spoon. My father stared at me in shock. "What? You? Selling on the street?" "No." They were ashamed at first. Maybe they worried about what people would say. Maybe they thought I was too young. Maybe they just wanted to protect me. But I was determined. I kept repeating, convincing, explaining. I told them we needed income. I told them I wasn't afraid of hard work. And after days of discussions, tears, arguments, and silence, they finally agreed. And that was the beginning of the biggest chapter of my life. We set up a small temporary stall near a busy local train station. Just a table, a stove, and a board that said, "Special bara pav, fresh, hot and delicious." On the first day, I was shaking. My heart pounded every time someone walked by. What if they laughed? What if no one bought anything? What if I failed? But failure wasn't an option. The first customer approached around 5:30 p.m. A young man in a hurry. "One bara pav," he said. My hands trembled while preparing it, but he smiled as he took the first bite. "It's good," he said. That one small compliment felt like sunlight in a dark room. By the end of the day, I made a small profit. Not much, but something. Something that was mine, earned with my own hands. And from that moment, I promised myself, I will never give up. In the first week, I was slow, nervous, unsure. But day by day, I gained confidence. I observed other stalls, learned from their menus, and tried to improve mine. Then I had an idea. I created my own special sauce, a secret blend of spices, tangy masala, and creamy texture that made my bara pav taste different from anyone else's. People noticed. Customers came back just to taste the bara pav with the special sauce. Word spread. Students loved it. Office workers loved it. Train passengers loved it. Soon, I wasn't just a girl selling food. I became the girl with the best bara pav in the area. As weeks turned into months, my stall started earning steady income. It wasn't huge, but it was enough to keep us going. My father's health slowly improved. He still couldn't drive, but he started walking with less pain. My mother, seeing my dedication, joined me after her factory shift. Together we worked like a team, laughing, cooking, selling, dreaming. We were no longer a broken family. We were a rising one. Now it has been almost 2 full years since the day I first opened my small stall. We no longer worry about food. We no longer struggle for rent. We no longer borrow money. Our bara pav business is doing well, better than anyone imagined. People know us. We have regular customers. Some even travel extra stops just to taste our special sauce. My father, though not fully recovered, helps by handling small tasks. My mother and I run the stall like professionals. For the first time in years, we breathe without fear. But we wanted more than survival. We wanted financial freedom. Last year, we had an idea that changed everything. We wanted passive income. Something stable. Something long-term. So we decided to invest in agricultural land in our native village. Land is valuable. Land grows in price every year. And farmers need land to cultivate rice, wheat, vegetables. If we rented out the land, we would receive money every 6 months, without doing anything. Passive income. Generational wealth. A stepping stone to a better future. With our savings from 2 years of the bara pav stall, we are now preparing to buy our first agricultural land. Once rented, it will give us stable income. And with that income, we plan to buy more land in the future. This is not just a business plan. This is our freedom plan. Financial freedom is not about becoming rich overnight. For me, it means being able to pay for my father's medicine without stress. Being able to buy my mother new slippers when her old ones break. Being able to attend school without worrying about lunch. Being able to save, invest, and grow. Being able to sleep at night without fear of tomorrow. Most importantly, financial freedom means having choices. Choices my parents never had. And I'm proud that at just 18, I am building that future for my family. If you are reading my story, remember this. You don't need to be rich to start. You don't need a degree to dream. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. Sometimes, all you need is courage. Courage to take the first step. Courage to face failure. Courage to rise again. I was just a schoolgirl, but I believed in myself. I believed in hard work. I believed in possibilities. And those beliefs created my destiny. Our story is not over. We will grow our stall. We will buy that land. We will expand. We will invest. We will build a future free from fear. We started with nothing. But today, we have everything that truly matters. Hope. Strength. Love. Dreams. This is my story. A story of a girl who refused to give up. A story of a family that rose from darkness. A story of financial freedom built with courage, love, and the taste of Bara Pav. And if I can do it, so can you. YouTube title: From Struggle to Success: How an 18-year-old girl saved her entire family with a small street business. Thumbnail: Street food to financial freedom.
For more inspiring stories like this, please like the video and subscribe the Rich Trackers channel.